It is very important when talking about borderlands to see the geography. The geography between Libya and Algeria in Ghat is different than the geography between Libya and Tunis in the north. The locals on these different border points have more control on what moves. The next question would be what moves? You know, we have people, we have services, we have goods, some of them are smuggled, some of them are legal, and also we have, unfortunately, weapons and mercenaries, and the control is very important, but the state to exert such control is very difficult.
So there is an intense blurring of the line between what is licit and what is illicit economy in Libya. And I think one of the things that we forget is that the intense blurring of the lines that has also happened in the security sector is having an impact on that. So, you know, we talk about militias in Libya all of the time, but what we often forget is in fact that they are quasi-state entities because of decisions that were made in 2011, 2012, integrating those individuals into the Ministry of Defence, the Ministry of Interior, and indeed the Ministry of Justice, gave them state cover. And so, in a way, the state is salarying some of the people who have indeed become war profiteers.
Decentralization is seen as a structural response to those demands of trying to decentralize political authority, to have decisions made by those who are elected at local level, who enjoy legitimacy, so that people can have representation at the local level. But at the same time, decentralization is designed to try to spur local development, to try to have more flexible ways, more bottom-up ways of conceiving of development policies that can actually meet the needs of local communities, rather than development policies that are imposed from the central level down.
The borderland between Morocco and Algeria. There used to be a huge economy, but informal in this region. Currently, people are still waiting in the borders. Every day they go to the border waiting for an opportunity to get some fuel or to get some supply to make some economy for themselves. So the living there is really miserable and needs to be seen by the leaders.
For the goods, for instance, when they travel from one country to another, we don't have only the circulation of goods, we have also the circulation of identities, of cultures, of traditions. For example, in Morocco, we have some Senegalese. They have specific style of hair, and Moroccan women go there and they change their style. So this is not our tradition. We don't put that style on our hair, but we are doing it. So I guess the first thing that we can address when it comes to economy is the people who are migrating, for instance. Like if we help them integrate in Moroccan, for instance, society, if we give them assistance, they can feel more free to share with us their traditions.
There are some long-standing trading families around the border, and those families do not only make trade across the border, but they also play an important role in creating stability and social order in the borderland areas. So in a context where you have a lack of rule of law, where the state is incapable of enforcing rules or governing, it's very important to have that kind of informal institution that emerge and can create social order and social cohesion.
North African governments must shrink the profit differential between formal and informal trade. More precisely, the subsidy policy should be reviewed, and it is really important to remember that without greater harmonization of prices at the regional level, there is every chance that the level of informal trade will continue to grow. Therefore, there is a dire need for increased regional coordination between North African governments in terms of tariffs, tax levels, and subsidies.
Smuggling, illicit or illegal or just informal trans-border trade are only one common component for them to make their living and to secure their livelihoods. So for the state to be able to tackle those issues, they have to provide alternative development models. People in the informal economy, they are there not by choice, but because of the lack of alternatives to make their living. So it's very important to take that into account when you design policies.